Will 2024 be a buyer's market, a seller's market, or just kind of even out and be a balanced market? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, Stacey Hesser here, your favorite realtor in all of Oklahoma. The words of Dak Prescott, here we go! We're going to be starting out with the 2024 real estate market and my predictions for where we're going to be going for the year of 2024. 2023 really left me a little bit battered and bruised and slightly speechless. I'm really kind of excited to just put that year behind us and move forward. But what are we moving forward to for the 2024 market? It was a seller's market still, but as we moved through the year, it was really moving more and more towards a buyer's market. Not full on by any stretch of the imagination, but it definitely was swinging to the buyer's favor. A seller's market is when there are more buyers than homes for sale, creating a demand for homes to purchase. In an extreme seller's market, which we experienced with COVID, buyers were getting into literal bidding wars over homes. Between low interest rates and low inventory and a massive influx of buyers into the economy buying homes, that created to me, a once in a lifetime seller's market for my lifetime. I don't think I'll ever see something like that ever hit again. Realtors, there was a lot of burnout with all of that, just trying to get into these bidding wars and just having clients that were trying to continue carrying on and trying to continue their desire to buy a house. But it really burned a lot of people out and put them on the bench. So we are now moving into more of a buyer's market. We still have an extreme shortage of homes for sale, but over the last year, we've seen those interest rates rise and we've also seen home prices rise. So it's made it a lot harder to find affordable homes, especially for first-time home buyers. 2023 really was, I don't want to call it a nightmare of a year. I still had a successful business. I was still doing decently, but I got a little spoiled. I got a little spoiled with the COVID market and how everybody was out there just scrambling to buy a house. That time is over. So we have moved on from that and we're kind of now just dealing with the consequences of what all of that did to us, real estate agents included. Real estate for most families is the largest investment that they'll make pretty much in their lifetime. Something that happened with COVID was a lot of people really moved in from the coasts and came into the Midwest area. There's a big discussion about whether or not Oklahoma is the Midwest, but we're kind of there. I mean, we're kind of Southern, we're kind of Midwest, so we're in a gray area, I'm just going to say, but people love to debate that in my comments. But with that migration came a lot of funding from the people selling off their houses on the coast and coming into our market here in the Midwest. That pushed our prices up and it also introduced a lot of cash buyers. Cash buyers, of course, don't have to go through an appraisal process. So overall, our entire housing market really got elevated quite a bit. I do feel for 2024 that elevation of our market will sustain itself. We have been an undervalued market for decades, much to many Oklahomans' dismay. We have been in an undervalued market. So it's really tough for builders to come here and be profitable on a large scale because their return on their investment when building a house isn't as good as it would be just across the border to Texas. So it's made it hard for new developers to come here in our market and build homes. But this is a national problem. Builders have been underbuilding homes for our market for decades. So this isn't anything new, but it has been something that's made it harder, a bigger hurdle for builders to overcome when they are looking to make a development in the areas. Interest rates had started out during COVID in the 3% range, and where we ended up in 2023 was in the 7% range. That's a 4% increase, and that creates a massive change in a home payment for I'll throw up an example here for $200,000. You'll see how much the house payment can vary from a 3% mortgage to a 7% mortgage. Luckily, those home mortgage rates are decreasing. They are predicting that the home rates will continue to go down throughout 2024, creating more affordability for buyers. Thank you. This is an election year, which adds a lovely little bit of spiciness to our market and to our economy. Once the market was changing and those buyers were getting pushed out, there were fewer and fewer people out there that were looking to buy. So it really shifted that market to more homes for sale than we had buyers. So what does that mean for you today in 2024, especially in the beginning of the year before we're seeing those interest rates go down? If there is any chance you can buy a house today, do it. The moment the interest rates start to hit a more affordable range, you're going to see way more buyers hit the market, and you're going to see it become a seller's market again. Right now, buyers, you can really negotiate down a lot of things, whether it's the purchase price, whether it's closing costs. You can ask for a seller to come up with more things than what you can probably expect to see in the heat of summer. So if there's any chance for you to be able to buy a house now, please reach out to me. Even if you're just considering it, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. I've got lenders, I've got down payment assistance programs, all looking to help you get into a home. So it's 2024. Some budgets with those down payment assistance programs get depleted. So it's a fresh budget again, and there's money available. So that's really the moral of the story here. There's money available for you, credit depending, for you to be able to come up with some funds to purchase a house. There's different rules around those things, but again, I've got people I can direct you to, and I'm happy to do so. So anyway, sorry, I kind of went off a little bit on a tangent there, but again, I really cannot emphasize that if you looked at my my monthly market update for December, I had a little snippet in there of Barbara Cochran, one of my favorite sharks from Shark Tank, and she herself was saying, buy now, buy now. Get out of renting, get out of the rental market, even if it's creating a little bit of an increase in your monthly budget, buy now. The key to it all is you can always refinance your home later. So once those interest rates start to drop again, you can refinance that loan. So if there's any way that you can swallow a larger payment today and come up with those closing costs or get qualified through a down payment assistance program, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Okay. So another consequence that we're dealing with today, and hopefully this will change throughout 2024 as interest rates go down, but there's a lot of sellers that are sitting on the sidelines as well. I talked about buyers sitting on the sidelines because interest rates are too high and they don't feel that they can afford a home. And I'm telling you, please do whatever you have to do to try to get yourself into a home today before the market really starts to go on fire again. But the sellers have also been sitting on the sidelines. So that's part of the reason why we have such a shortage of inventories. We just haven't had as many new homes coming on the market. Why? Because they have low interest rates right now. They don't want to give up that 3% interest rate on their mortgage and trade it for something that's going to be in the 6% range. So it's been really kind of a tough mixed bag with all of that, trying to convince sellers to sell. Sellers understand that they do have equity in their homes and they're sitting on that equity, which is great. That's why we always talk about how real estate is such a great investment for families, for anyone, for Americans. The real estate market is one of the best investments you can make because it's always going to be on a steady rise. So where does all of this leave us in 2024? We are hearing absolute that the feds will be doing at least 4 rate decreases, if not 6. But again, this is an election year, so that always adds a little bit of spiciness, and they don't really want to have this become some kind of a political ploy that vote for me, I'll bring interest rates down. So it really becomes a balancing act for them to do that. And how far they're going to go, it's a little bit hard to say. I don't think we'll see as rapid of a decrease in interest rates as we saw as an increase. So in other words, over the next 2 years, I don't think we're going to be going from 7% back down to 3%. I've read a few different things on various articles saying that we're going to end up probably in the 5-6 range. The days of seeing 2 and 3% interest rates are probably never going to happen again. I do expect interest rates to go down. I do expect this to turn into more of a seller's market than it is today. It's really hard to say if we're in a buyer's market now. Even though buyers are in control, we still have a very, very limited inventory out there for people to select from. It was just a rough year for no real reason other than just a mental breakdown and just trying to get through the last, I think, of that mental crap that we were dealing with through COVID and just all of the fear and anxiety of all of it. Dude, I would just want to put that crap behind me now, and we are moving on, and I want to help you, and I want to be part of your life, your world, help you buy a house and help get you into the real estate investing dream. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, you guys. Bye.